Hey y'all, it's Terry and from Sisterhood of the Traveling Brush, and I showed you a while back where I bought all these pieces from somebody from an abandoned house, and they've all just been sitting. Some of them are sitting here, some of them are sitting in my studio at home, some of them are still in the trailer. And I mean, just to be honest, I've just been in a funk, and I think a lot of people maybe are experiencing something similar right now. You're just sort of out of whack with everything going on, and I'm like, I gotta snap out of this. So usually painting will help me snap out of that, and every day I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it today. Today I'm gonna paint that dresser. Today I'm gonna paint that vanity on top of my work stuff and all that. And then the day comes and I come in and I do all the drudgery stuff. I do payroll and I pay the bills and I order the stuff and all my other job stuff. And then I'm like, nah, I've had enough of this day. I'm going home and nothing gets painted. And painting's what makes me feel good. I don't even understand how I get in that kind of a funk. So today I'm ready to go home. I've done all the stuff and I'm like, I'm putting something on that dresser today. I am not the kind of girl that is going home another day without doing nothing. It's been months. I've been acting this way for a little while and I miss y'all. So today, here's what we're gonna do. The top of this looked like hockey. One of our staff members here, Rebecca, cleaned these for me, and I'm so thankful for that. With White Lightning, I have bottles of it that I've made everywhere. But the top of this was just terrible. And normally I would use Dixie Belle Boss, didn't have any in here. So what I used up there is the Ben primer, and it kind of stinks. I'm so used to using the Dixie Belle products and not having a smell or anything to them that it kind of surprised me. And I went first all horizontal, or first all vertical, then all horizontal, because it is messed up a little bit up there, and I'm gonna want this piece to have a little bit of texture. And I'm normally not one to paint the hardware. I never did jump on that trend very much, but right now this painting is therapeutic for me. You know what I mean? I'm doing this to help me get my hind end out of a funk and hopefully come out with something cute. I have big plans for this dresser, and let me share them with you. I'll show you what I got. I got my squirt bottle, my mister, got my bucket of water with my chip brush that I just used to put that primer on top. And let me say one more thing about this. This is really good primer, even though it smells. The Ben primer by Zinsser has shellac, and that's going to block bleed through. Dixie Belle Boss would have. I didn't have it, so I'm using the Ben primer. And I've tried to figure out the colors. I know what I want. Are y'all with me? I'm going to paint a big girl face on here. I've been wanting to practice my faces, so that's what I'm gonna put it on this dresser, because you know what, if it looks stupid at the end, we'll paint the dang thing white. That's not what we're going for now. We're going for, let's add some color to our life. So I decided I wanted to use a Prima transfer, and I'm actually now a Prima content creator. So when it gets to this part of the process, I'm actually going to do this live on the ReDesign by Prima page, but that's not going to be today. But I want you to look at this. You know, I'm a purple lover. Look at the dang flowers, and they're separated like that. You can see here where somebody's used one on a dresser, and that's gorgeous. And here they give you the sizes of the flowers and all that, and you can cut those out and put them wherever you want to. What I'm wanting to do with my big girl head here is have her have a crown of flowers at the top and then maybe a couple at the bottom. So that's my big plan that I'm trying to see. And in my mind it's yellow, but I don't want to paint it yellow. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to paint the main body Blueberry by Dixie Belle. I've never even used this color before, and I was surprised when I was pulling it off the shelf and comparing all the blues that this was more of a purpley blue, and I'm surprised that I haven't used it before. And I think it would, because I want the whole body to be light, that's the color. But look how closely this matches those flowers. This is Aubergine, which is like eggplant. Lovely dark purple color, and I use it quite a bit. love this. And I wasn't wanting to do pink on this piece because I'm fixing to do the vanity that I have at home in pinks, but I couldn't help myself. This is called Plum Crazy, and it matches so well with some of the flowers that are on here. I'm going to use just a little bit of this here and there. So we have Blueberry, Aubergine, Plum Crazy, and then I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do a metallic on there, and this metallic is called Pacific, and it looked so great with these, but I didn't want the piece to be too dark. So, well, I'll go back to the Blueberry, but you really need a solid coat under your metallics so you don't take as many coats of your metallics, and Blueberry wasn't going to do. So I got this Bunker Hill Blue that I think is going to look good under it. So we'll never really see the Bunker Hill Blue, but somewhere along here, somewhere, we're going to put some metallics later on because by golly, I want to. And I just grabbed out a couple of chip brushes, Dixie Belle number 8, I think it is, because those were sitting here waiting. So that's all I've got out. I've got the primer on top. That actually feels almost dry, but you can see a lot more of the cracks and things. So I'll probably put another coat of that on there with like an X pattern, something to crisscross it to give it a little more, or either a linen pattern by going back and forth to give it a little bit of texture to help hide some of the imperfections. But all I'm really going to do today is have a little bit of fun, do something to the front of this, because I don't know about y'all, but for me, if I start it, it motivates me to see what it's going to develop into and what it's going to turn into and how it's going to be finished, and it gives me so many more ideas. So even though I'm starving, it's about noon here right now and I'm ready to go to lunch, I'm like, I'm not leaving this building until I put some paint on that dresser. So this is what all happened since I came up with that idea about an hour ago. And I do have groceries in my bag over there, and so I can't stay too long. I've got them in an insulated bag, but we are going to get paint on the front of here today, and we're going to get most of these colors. Probably not the metallic today, because there's no sense in putting that until we're ready for it. So we may not even use this Bunker Hill Blue today. I've never used Bunker Hill Blue either. Here's the difference too, and this is the Dixie Belle chip brush, and this is like the ones that I get by the case at Harbor Freight. See the difference in how many bristles it has and the size of it. This has a lot more sturdiness, and so I'm glad that I was able to grab that one out. And I have very little room in here today, and I'm just dying to put some of these purples on here because it's my favorite. So let's see if the purple always makes me feel better. Maybe I can't even open the paint. Maybe that's a sign. It's brand new. Brand new paint. And I'm a weakling. There we go. Had those scissors because that's what I opened the can of primer with. I'm just thinking about how I want some things a little darker, some things a little lighter. Shoot, I bet I didn't bring a stir stick. But I did have one that I broke in here trying to open the primer with it earlier. I don't see it. So you do always have to stir. I'm going to stir with the end of a paintbrush. This is just my base coat, and this is a good process to really think about. This isn't something that I've always done, but because I like to be efficient, and this doesn't seem as efficient, but it is efficient because all we're doing is getting a base coat on. And we're going to put 2 coats no matter what anyway. So I have learned to use this first coat as sort of inspiration, you know what I mean? You know, maybe to spark new ideas. You sit down, I mean, when I sat down, this thing was going to be yellow. I mean, everything in my head on this is yellow, and that comes from a piece that Anissa from This and That did. If you've not followed her, you should go check out her page. My goodness, that girl's so talented. And I'm inspired by this yellow piece that she's got that has a big face with a girl with glasses. Of course, I don't want to copy that same thing. I want this to be my girl. You know what I mean? I want this to be how I want to do it. I need it to sort of tell me what it wants done. And I know that sounds silly, but that's just, by golly, the truth of the situation. Sometimes your piece will start talking to you. So, well, that was that was a little bit crazy. I can't say I'm in a funk and then that my furniture speaks to me. They'll send the crazy wagon after me. But it leads you in a direction that you may not have thought of at first. Let me see if that's a better way of putting it. I like to let whatever the brush strokes start doing and however things start looking on the piece to dictate. Get out of the funk however you can get out of the funk. Do whatever you got to do. For me, I know I'll feel better once I start this, and I would have continued to just put it off and put it off and put it off, and that's not good. We're going to take the cheapest chip brush because we're not going to use as much of this aubergine. I just want a little bit around the edges. I'm just doing this with the drawers closed right now. I'll come back and decide whether to paint those edges or what I'm going to do, because a lot of times you have to worry a little bit about that, about whether it's going to cause it to stick later. Try to get a little bit of this on that hardware. But you know, if I don't like this later, I can take this hardware off and do something else to paint there. I'm gonna use my Paint Pixie number 8 now on this Plum Crazy. And same thing here, just wanting to get some on just inside of where that's at. Am I like blocking everything whenever I'm sitting there? I'm not wanting to, at this stage, I'm not wanting to blend these colors and come out with another purpley pink color. I'm just wanting to lay some of this on there, so how it looks is just fine. However it looks, I mean. Well, purple is regal and majestic, they say. I don't know, I surely ain't being regal and majestic, but I like it. And yellow is probably why I wanted yellow so much, is it's a happy color. That one's done. Now we're gonna go to, I'm gonna use the Dixie Belle chip brush, premium chip brush I think they call it. I'm gonna mist it just a tad. And we're gonna go through these center parts with our blueberry. The mister bottle, the fine mist mister bottle is, you can't use a bottle like this, which I've got vinegar in to spray inside the drawers when they stink. And it's going to put a hard spray on there and wash some of your paint off. But when you use the fine mist, it just puts enough on there to let your paintbrush have a surface to glide over. Even though I liked it better with the aubergine on the edges, this is first coat. It's going to have more aubergine on the edges when I put the second coat on. And I think that's it. I think that's where I'm going to stop. Put that in my water. And I actually like it. I hope y'all can see it as good as I can see it, and that you like it too. Whatever you do, I would love it if, tell me what you enjoy. You know, I enjoy painting and having my way with old furniture or canvases or whatever. I enjoy that. what do you enjoy? I'm guessing that you enjoy painting and stuff too, or you probably wouldn't be here. But what do you enjoy the most? Canvas work or furniture work, new furniture work, making signs? I mean, I love scrapbooking and things like that too, even though I do this more now. But one more. Well, it's too late. Let me show you one more thing. I bought these. I got 3 of them at Hobby Lobby for, I think it was 29 cents, maybe 19 cents. And they're wood. So I will probably paint something on them to match this, because they'll be good to help with staging. But I would love to know, whatever you do, if you take my advice today and you've been in a funk too, let me know that I'm not alone feeling this way, and let me know what you did to get yourself out of your funk. You know, maybe other people can use that too. But I appreciate you. We will come back to this on Monday. And have our way with it some more. But I would love, love, love to know what you're doing to make yourself feel happy, because this is what I'm doing. Thanks. Bye.